Hello. How are you, wise ones? I want to talk more in depth about the experience that I had. Well, I briefly talk about the experience, but I want to talk deeper about why it is now my mission to do more investigation and search for more clues, because I know for sure that they are, okay, they are propelling me to go further and deeper into the experience that I had, okay? So never ignore anything, especially any of your paranormal experiences. Paranormal experiences are not random, okay? They just do not happen just because they happen, okay? Paranormal experiences, I mean, all life experiences, but I'm talking more of the paranormal, because though paranormal are things that we tend to try to ignore or try to get over the experience, because, you know, they may make us feel vulnerable or make us think we're going crazy. And sometimes they're just scary, okay? Because, like, we were not brought up, most of us here in the Americas, to really pay any attention to those activities. You know, anything supernatural is what they would say is demonic activity and all, because we tend to, you know, be programmed by the church and programmed by other programs that were created for us, artificial type experiences. I can go on and on and on, but most of us here in the Americas have a lot of programs that are not of our own. You understand? So when we come into spirituality, we have a lot of work to do, and deprogramming is one of them. So we're not really prepared for a lot of the things that we're venturing into as we venture into the craft, as we venture into spiritualism and whatever these other places you all are going, into the dark arts, whatever. So when you have decided that these are some of the doors that you're going to open up, when you get in there, you know what I'm saying, you find yourself in a very sometimes scary, unfamiliar place, or what have you. But like I say, you want to pay close attention to those, because those activities, because they are allowing you to know exactly where you are in ascension. Okay, so they're very important, and you definitely want explanations. You want to go into those places to explore, you know, what is this? You know what I'm saying? It is definitely a key clue to where your frequencies are at that given moment. Thank you, baby. So when they tell you to introduce and incorporate certain things into onto your journey, you definitely want to evaluate those things, research them, and go for it, because there are things that must be collected. There are rituals, rites of passages that you must go through to get these frequencies in the place they need to be in order to go to wherever that place is, that whatever that plane of existence is. So I told you all I had the experience with the Alexa Bluetooth. Remember, we talked about that. I had the experience with the Alexa Bluetooth. Now, I'm going to put this down, okay? I'm just going to sit in here. So I had that experience, and that was about last week. And by the way, Happy New Year's. We're getting ready to enter into a whole nother realm of existence as we go into 2019. So I just wanted to wish you all a prosperous New Year's. Look, so a unfamiliar device actually merged with my Bluetooth Alexa. I heard it loud and clear because the Alexa is in the kitchen, near the kitchen and the living room. And I was sitting here on my bed when I heard it engage. I heard her say that the actual device was complete, something like that. She said that. And usually that indicates that, the device is successfully completed, meaning that what happens if you go and take your cell phone to the Alexa and you turn your Bluetooth on your cell phone, on your tablet, on one of your devices, and you go to that particular portion of the menu in those devices and you do what you do, you see the device, the Bluetooth available on your cell phone. You click it and the two of them will connect and merge so that you can get information, or, the information can be actually programmed to the Bluetooth, and it can play whatever you want it to play on your device. So I'm just sitting here, and y'all already know what it does. I'm just explaining it to people who may not have a Bluetooth speaker and they don't know how it works. But so it emerged and stuff like that, and I was a little bit shocked as I tried to figure out what is engaging to the Bluetooth, knowing that at that particular moment I was doing something else, had nothing to do with any device. So I'm like, okay. So I was like, okay, she said that, and I said, well, maybe it's a mistake. Maybe she was saying something, and it was just a glitch or something like that. So I sat there, and I say about within so many seconds, about 20 more seconds from that, there was a voice that came through from the speaker, and it said STARGATE. Or Star 8. And that shocked me because it was my own voice. My own voice. And that has been on my mind ever since. I cannot get it off of my mind. I do not know anyone who is on my frequencies that I can go to and sit down and have a conversation and say, hey, look, check this out. This is what's going on. Have you had a similar experience? I'm telling you all, as you continue your journey and commune with your ancestors, whether they be here on this particular plane of existence or some other existence on a galactic level or beyond, you will find yourself alone. A lot of people will say that you are mentally insane, twisted, deranged, a degenerate, or you just plain old just crazy. Because it gets to the point where you are so far off into the distance until you cannot turn around, you can't turn back, you can't come down, and you can't be reached, or you can't reach anyone in this particular space. So you have to stop a moment and decide, should you go any further? Now, this is for the people who are not very sure as to where they're going. I mean, none of us are really sure where we're going. But some of us definitely need to stop. Because once you get out there, to me, it's like being in the middle of a dark sea. And the only light out there in that darkness is yourself. You are the lighthouse, not only for yourself, but you are the lighthouse for those who have found themselves lost in the sea. And I don't really want to use the word lost in the sea, but navigating in the dark seas. Hello? Now, if you don't understand this, if it's not making sense, don't worry about it. Just store the information wherever you have room to store it. Okay? And there are some who will never understand this information because they are the ones who will brand you mentally and criminally insane. And it's okay, because all it means is that you are chartering a vibration that you should not be chartering. That's all. Because a lot of the times when there were things that I could not understand at that moment, that given time and space, it was only because it was nothing wrong with the person. It was just the fact that I wasn't ready and I wasn't prepared for it. And and there are some places now that I'm not prepared for. There are a lot of channels out there that I have to just turn away from, because it's not that they're crazy. It's just, hey, you know, I ain't there yet. Okay? So where I am now, in this dark sea, I must study every single clue. You're going to get to that point as you continue to reach ascension. Every little thing matters. Every encounter, every loss, every gain, every person I meet, any and everything crosses my path have a very deep meaning that must be explored. So when she came along and said, Stargate, I know that this is information that I have to go deeper into. Stargate. What is a Stargate, spiritually? What is a Stargate? To myself personally, because I've done some research, and I got to wrap this up and say it quickly. I've done some research, and my own take on it, which is much different from what I have personally read or listened to when it comes to Stargates. A Stargate, to me, is a level of consciousness that is a doorway, a gateway, or a bridge to another world of existence. Another dimension, another plane of existence that cannot be reached by the average Joe and Joanne, okay? So to speak. That's exactly what it is. Now, what have I read? A lot of what I've read and I've seen on videos when it comes to a Stargate, to most of these people who are talking about Stargates, and I'm not saying they're wrong, you know, because like I say, everybody's right, everybody's wrong. Okay? There is no right, there is no wrong, in other words. As most of what I've read and I've heard is a Stargate is a portal, or it is something physical, is what most of what I'm hearing. That it's a place. It's a place, it's a spot on earth that you can go to and you can enter into it. And it'll take you to other realms and or just other planets. You understand, other galaxies, other universes, and other sort of solar systems. Okay, and they are all around different points of the Earth, is what I've been reading. But to me, myself personally, you know what I'm saying? It may be true. I'm not saying that it's not, because I know that there can be portals and stuff in people's homes. Matter of fact, there are portals in our houses. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, you know, the drain from your toilet stools and sinks, that's a portal into another realm of existence. Your windows are portals. Your doors to your house are portals. Your mirrors are portals. You know what I'm saying? We know these things, you know, and stuff. But when we're talking about a Stargate, we're talking about something that is just massive, where, you know, it's so much information is going in and out of this humongous opening. Okay? Now, I've been doing so many videos in the past, you know, doing songs and stuff about it and everything. But now it's more important to me than ever. What's my take on it? I really do believe that the Stargate is within the pineal gland. The pineal gland is a realm of existence of its own. It is the key to all there is. It is where God resides. Hello? That's the Stargate. That's the place where your frequencies, where ascension, where all of those things are within that place. I mean, it's your navigation that's housed in this particular gland. It's where your navigation is to this plane of existence and other planes of existence that exist, and they all are dependent on where you are with your work here, right, and not just the here right now, but your past lives and the lives to come. You know, you cannot, I don't care what you do. A lot of people try to trip and actually trick the pineal to that experience, which is very false in nature, if that makes sense. And the experience, oh, it may be wowing, and you may create some beautiful works of art, whether it be film or canvas or, whatever you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Music or whatever. But, you got to realize people can tell when you faking the funk. It is not until you have done the work that it's believable to not others, but to yourself. If all of this makes sense. The Stargate is in the pineal gland. It is the pineal gland. You don't want that damaged. So, when people say, when you hear NASA and the rhetoric about, hey, we're going into outer space, and we got the space shuttle ready and we're on our way out of here. You understand? Why go through all of that? Why do you really have to go to the extreme to create spaceships and go to these realms of existence? Now, if you ask me, I may be a little bit closed-minded. And I know it's ironic because I'm telling you ought to be open-minded to sit with me for a minute, because I know a lot of the times the reason why I don't really get our audience to really respond and get them engaged is because people want proof. People want proof that you've actually experienced this. But when you get to this a portion of spirituality, it's difficult to prove spirituality. It's difficult to say, hey, this happened to me and here's my proof. You know what I'm saying? It's just something that you have to verbalize. You understand? Hello? Because people want to see it. Some people have shown it. Now let me back up and try to collect my thoughts. The reason why they are creating the technology to go to these places, which this technology, in order to travel to these realm of existence, is space shuttles and these different satellites that are observing this, that, and the other out in outer space, inner space, wherever kind of space the space is, and using these cell phones and using these tablets and computers and all these other devices, is because of the lack of being able to raise the frequencies to, I got some new information to these megahertz in the brain to allow that Stargate in the pineal gland to take you these places. So it's a cheat sheet, in other words. A space shuttle is a cheat sheet to get there. If you're really getting there at all, because most of the masters do not need this technology in order to go into inner space, outer space. They do not need their physical bodies to get there, because these realms of existence are nothing but a shift in consciousness. And I keep telling people who are looking for these stargates with their physical eyes, you'll never have an opportunity to witness it, because that's not the way it works. I keep telling people that. So when you hear people talking about, oh, this particular gate has opened, and you're like, this person is nuts. What are they talking about? No, it shows us that you're actually the nut, because you have not done the work to be able to witness it. And it makes you look like a buffoon sitting in somebody's chat room saying, hey, this person is a fraud and a scammer. They lie. The focus is not on that individual. The focus is on you. Why are you trying to bombard a classroom that you do not belong in? We're like, kick them out of the classroom. They shouldn't be here. Or some content creators or some masters or some teachers. I don't know what these people call themselves. Some realists, some spiritualists. I don't know. Some of them are patient and they can wait. And they'll be like, just let them stay here so that they can figure it out. But then they become disruptive because they really want to be heard. They really want to be seen. Hey, look, hey, I'm here. Listen to me. Observe me. I demand to know. But that's what I wanted to talk about. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm like a little bit in hiding as I continue to do field work and study and research and try to connect with people who are where I am at that particular moment. This particular space and time where I am, because I know that it's temporary being in these places because we'll be forever moving. But this is where I am right now. I don't plan on staying here, but I'm here for the moment. And I'm hoping to connect with people. And I know I probably won't. Right now, I'm going to be trying myself to connect. But eventually, they will try to connect. As I continue to receive information from my particular, how would I want to name these people? My particular operators at the moment. And I was telling you that I have found out that after looking at that image of the side of my face and seeing my eyes, that I am Arcturian. Now, a lot of people may not know who and what that is, but that is a star race that is definitely bringing back information and forcing me to pay attention to downloads that were there, even just way before I even decided, or I won't even say decided to come on this journey, because I've been on this journey. I was just not aware of the journey and still am not 100% conscious of the journey. You understand? But it's where I am at this moment, and they are definitely propelling me to seek more information as they give me information. But and I know y'all gonna say, oh, she's crazy, but the archons and the Palladians, because I know a lot of people say a lot of wonderful things about Palladians and stuff like that, are trying to override a lot of that information. Deliberately going in and removing those things that have been placed there. So I have a lot of work to do, as I am in between many planes of existence at one time, dealing with a lot of Mandela effects or whatever. And I'm just using this language because this is the language that most people who listen to me, these are the transmissions that they understand. You understand what I'm saying? Because if I was to use any other language, then they wouldn't understand it. But this is my battle right now. This is the actual war, so to speak, or not just war, or the peace that I am in the midst of. Does that make sense? Because I'm trying right now, okay? There are quite a few people dealing with this. A lot of people are very quiet about it. Why? Because they're quiet because they don't even know how to explain it. They don't have the words in their language, whether it be English, Spanish, I don't know, to explain this phenomenon. They are trying to communicate with me by any means necessary. They will use the things that you listen to or watch the most to get to you and say, hey, pay attention. You may want to research your star race. It'll let you know a lot about who you are in your ancient past existence as well as your future existences that have already came and gone and came or to come. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, so I just wanted to talk about that. Know that these stargates, you ain't got to go nowhere looking for them. You do not have to board a plane and go to India, go to China, or go to the Great Pyramids in Egypt to get to this. Okay? It's already stored within your spiritual brain. Okay? As I was researching, I found out that we have more than one brain. Y'all might want to look that up too. So, if you haven't already, could you please subscribe to my channel? And please click the like button. I just really don't have much time to continue to dwell on it. I'm hoping to be able to do a live because, like I say, I'm noticing that not only is money scarce sometimes for us, but just space itself is scarce. You know what I'm saying? I'm really realizing that as we grow, we are running out of space. We are outgrowing, ourselves. You understand? It's just not enough space. Okay. Everything says I'm running out of space. There's not enough space. It's so irritating. Okay. But anyways, bye-bye now. Please rate and subscribe.